Alright, hello guys, and welcome back to another video. And enter presentation mode there, and actually I can exit full screen and I still have all that stuff there. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So, and still don't know how to do this correctly, but there we go. So yeah, we're working on the font class here, and I'm going to keep it as it is. Because remember, we still have that problem with like hyphens and question marks and stuff like that. So I'm not going to worry about that right now, because we're not sure that we're going to use this. And this is the Zelda Link to the Past font, so I mean, we might not use that. But instead, we can work on the animation class. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's going to be in the graphics folder or package. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And of course we need a buffered image, and we need an array of it because it's an animation. And if you don't know about animations, animations are basically a series of images that are just in sequence together. So we have to keep track of like the current frames, and keep track of how many frames that they're, different frames there are. And here's like another variable that we also need called count. The count will be incremented through all the different images there are in the array. And also we need to keep track of how many times it's been played. So if it's been played once, then we can like go backwards and go back to the beginning and keep it going like that. So we're going to have a constructor, and it's going to have an array of buffered images, and it's going to be called frames. And of course, at this time, we can just say it's played 0 because it hasn't been played yet. And we're going to have a method called setFrames, which will actually set the buffer images to that image, and also other stuff as well. And we're going to have a normal constructor like that, and just have it times played is equal to 0. There we go. So now we can do that. Now we can make a method called setFrames. And it requires a buffer frame, an array of buffered images. And this is where we go. This frame, wait. Yeah, this frame is equal to frame. But we didn't call it frames, did we? We called it images, so we don't need to do this. There we go. Actually, it'd be probably better if we called it frames. And we have to say this frame. There we go. So current frame is equal to 0, of course, because we haven't started, and also the count is also equal to 0 because we haven't started. And times played is equal to 0, and delay is equal to 2. So delay is just basically the times between moving different frames. So number of frames, of course, would be the frames.length, and that should be it. And there's no, there we go. It's actually a variable instead of a method, so yeah. So we have another method called delay, so we're going to set the delay, and we can all keep this in one line actually. So delay is equal to I. And we're going to set the frame, and the current frame is equal to I, and also one more, we set the number of frames. Num frames is equal to I, and we also have the update method. So update is basically going to go cycle through the the number of frames. However, if the delay is -1, that means there's no delay, so we're just going to return because there's no delay. And so we don't need to actually cycle through. So yeah, so this is where count comes in. So if count is equal to the delay, so delay is like, for example, 2 right now. If we do the constructor here, and you go to set frames, delay is 2, so it will loop through the update method twice before this if statement is gonna be called, I guess. It's an if statement, so it's not really called, is it? It's just executed. And then we're gonna have a current frame equal to the number of frames. Awesome. Then the current frame is equal to freaking 0, and times played, of course, since it's being played. It's gonna be 1, incremented to 1 by 1. So yeah, that's basically it. We can probably do getters, so let's do that. Return delay, and that's it. Image, get image. Return frames and the current frame. Whoop. And public if it has played once. Just so we know if it's played once, because sometimes in animations you just want to play it once and that's it. Like, yeah. So we have that going on. We have another one that's saying that if it's been played to like a certain amount, so it'll be times played equals to I. There we go. That's basically animation. Just done. So yeah, I think we have enough time for like everything else. Yeah, 7 minutes. Great. So we can do the entity class. Call it. I think that's how you spell it. Hopefully. I've been spelling it wrong the whole time. Don't know. Could happen. That can happen. So that's going to be an abstract class. So classes that will probably use this entity class probably be like the player, enemy, anything that can move, I guess. So yeah, we're gonna start with the constructor and go through there. So basically, every entity is gonna need a sprite, and every entity is gonna need a position and position of origin, I guess I would call it like that. Origin. And then we need a tile manager for some reason. I don't think we need a tile manager. No, we don't need it. Screw that. Entity don't need that. Probably maybe for like collisions, but I might handle that differently. So yeah. So we have a sprite class already, so just import that. And there we go. So we need to make a variable called sprite. But I'll do that later. I'll do that right now. We also probably need a variable called, we'll call it clocks, and then we call this origin. I feel like we need a size. That could probably be handled through here, right? That's... Okay, so we need a size. Also, we're gonna need... You need more stuff than this, actually. But also, everything's gonna have an animation. If not, then we can just set the delay to -1, and then we won't have animation again. So yeah, and this is gonna be a top-down game. So basically, everything can go up, and I'm not gonna initialize them right now. Well, I guess we can just say that's 0. And everything's gonna go down as well. They can. Everything's gonna go right, I guess. And everything's gonna go left. So yeah, we can go ahead and actually make this method. Okay, so public set animation to that right now. But let's make everything default to the right, and we need an array of sprites. How are we going to do that? Oh yeah, that's right. We also have this thing, so yeah, we're going to start with the right as well. We probably have to do this here. And buffered image frames and delay. And we should go input costs. So there we go. And we're going to do some stuff to that. We're going to do current animation animation is equal to I. And probably need a variable for that as well. Any.setFrames. And here we're actually going to set the frame. Still need a variable for any. But yeah, so that'll be frames. Any.setDelay. If you remember, that's going to be delay. So yeah, let's go ahead and make some variables. Private animation, and we also need a private. Well, does it need to be private, or could it be like protected? What did I do? Yeah, that's okay. Protected. The difference between private and protected is that private, only the entity class can use that variable, but protected is basically any class that extends entity can use the variable. So that's what we're doing. We don't want to do public because we don't want to allow access to every class, but just the class that extends this class called entity. So yeah, we need a vector as well too, and then we just need something called size, and that's it. And then we also need a current animation. So the private, I feel that's going to be private. Oh, actually protected maybe, because we might use it for other stuff. Current animation. And that's not doing it. Okay. I'm gonna put that right there with the animation stuff. So yeah, we got that going up. We're also gonna need some other variables, and ooh, that's not right. And these variables are gonna be used for actually movement for the player and the enemies and other stuff, maybe like objects, like moving traps and stuff. So, oh, there's the E right there. And we're probably gonna have an attack speed for everything. And probably what's it gonna be called? Like attack duration? Is that how you spell it? Hopefully. And we need speed. So it's gonna be float, and we call it dx. It's like direction. Float, dy, direction, y, direction, x. And we probably need a max speed. So this is gonna limit like how fast we go. We're not gonna set anything to it yet. And we have protected, and we do float, and then this is acceleration. So we're not gonna set anything to it either, because I have no idea how this is gonna work. So yeah, so that's all the variables that we're gonna need. We're probably gonna need another, like 2 more, but we can work on that later. What is it? Okay, we're gonna stop there. So actually, hold on. No, we're not. We're gonna do some stuff. So every entity is going to need to update and needs to render. However, since animation is kind of like necessary for everything, we're not going to abstract, or not going to, we're not going to abstract the update method. We're just going to make sure that everything's animated, and everything's going to have a hitbox direction. So like, depending on which way you face, that's the way you're gonna hit. And everything's gonna update the animation as well. However, we are gonna have a public abstract render class, or render method, because everything does need a render method. And everything actually doesn't need an input method, because enemies doesn't need really input, because enemies is going to be like it's going to be like controlled by the AI, which is going to be like a simple chaser. So we can just do that for now. But yeah, we got some stuff that we need to do. So we have this hitbox direction animate that we need to create, and we can actually go ahead and create the animate. Hitbox we can't probably, yeah we can't. This hitbox we need another class, which we're going to work on next time. After this video we're going to work on that class. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the animate one. So it's really simple. It's a lot of copy and pasting, that's for sure. So if up, we have to make sure that we get the correct animation. So if the current animation is not equal to up, or it's like the animation dot the delay, I guess, is equal to -1 or something. So like we like pause the animation, for example. Then we have to set the animation to up, and make sure that we get the right sprite. Which is up. And 5. So that's delay is going to be 5. I'm not sure if that 5 is going to be enough, but let's do that. So yeah, the thing with this right here is that, where does that get straight away? Is it this one? Yeah, we're just sure it's this one. So the thing with that is that we don't know which one is up. Where's the entity class? So we said that 0 is going to be the up, but we don't know. We really don't. So Go to computer science, Java, image and res, entities, and then we go to the formatted one. Can we zoom in? Yeah, we can, but it really sucks. So this up one is actually the fourth one, so 0, 1, 2, 3, and yeah. So basically, how we set it up here, it says up is equal to 0, because that's where we think the up animation is. However, here in this example, it's not, because if that is true, then this is the up animation, which is not. It's the right animation. So that's a problem. We just have to find the right formatted sprite sheet for the character. And so this is how usually you format stuff. And so when we do this get sprite array, we're getting this whole row, like each whole row. And so that's what I mean. Like this right here is the up animations, but it's in the row 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So yeah. We're not going to use this sprite sheet. We're not going to use that as a auto font sheet either. So, but just keep in mind, we just have to find a sprite sheet that fits with us. So yeah. So yeah, after you do that, it's really simple. All you have to do is copy and then like paste it like 4 times, because we have 4 different other movements. So we got down. So of course, I have to change this to if down and down and down, and we're gonna keep the same delay because everything should technically be the same. And this is actually doesn't need to be that. You just say else, just to make things easier. Actually, no, we do need that, because else, that means it's idle, right? That makes sense. Never mind. However, we don't know how to do that. The idle, because we don't know where it is, but we're just gonna have to edit that. Oh, that's not right. I get it. That's not the right. Then else we need idle. And so animation, the current animation, I guess really, if you think about it, because that kind of makes sense, right? Because when you stop moving, you're not going to cut to like the idle animation. You're just going to cut to the position of wherever you, whatever direction you're facing. So yeah. So if we do this example thing again, just going to zoom. So say we're running, right? We're going through these animations, we go back and whatnot. And then all of a sudden we stop. We want to go to this last frame here, or this first frame here, because that's the idle. He's not doing anything, and whatever. Really, what most games do is they have like this idle animation where they like the head bobbles down and up, and the arms do as well, and they're just going up and down together or whatever. That means that they probably have another row of that animation and of each direction as well. So like have idle animations in this direction, of this direction, of that direction, and different directions. And so we can put that all in one row if they're both 2 frames, because you see this could be the right, as you see. Yeah, we can actually do that with this sprite sheet. However, we probably want to have them all in their own row. So that's going to expand this sprite sheet by, it's going to be like an 8 by 8, because this is 8 frames. Oh yeah, it'll be 8 by 8. So yeah, that took longer than expected. Oh man, that's 24. Alright, so we're going to stop there. Alright, thanks for watching, and goodbye.